Everybody knows that the Galaxy S7 range of devices are some of the best looking out there, but how do they fare underwater? Well, today I'm going to be doing a water test on the Samsung Galaxy S7. Now I know that there are a bunch of videos out there doing this exact water test, but for me this is a little bit nerve-wracking because this is my personal Galaxy S7. This is my daily driver, the phone I use on a regular basis, so if anything goes wrong then I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, let's see what happens. So as you can see guys, I do have here a jar of water and I'm just going to place my phone inside and just leave it in there really and see what happens. Now as you can see, the phone is pretty much fully submerged. There is a little bit at the top that isn't submerged, which houses the speaker and the front facing camera, but the main part in terms of the charging port and also the headphone jack at the bottom where most of the water can get in, that's fully submerged as you can see. Now in terms of what actually happened to the device once it was in there, not really that much to report back to. It did think that at some points the screen was being touched and it did open Spotify, but apart from that there wasn't really anything that happened. The screen didn't turn off, there weren't really any problems or anything, so overall I think it was actually a bit of a success. So upon removing the phone out of the water, I wanted to test something straight away to see if certain specific functionalities would or wouldn't work. Now as you can see, the first thing that I came across was the fact that the fingerprint sensor doesn't work straight out of the water. Now that's not necessarily such a big problem because it has been submerged, so you are going to have some water behind the actual sensor itself, allowing it not to read it properly. But in terms of the actual screen and everything else, as you can see here, it works perfectly fine. Swiping up to get into the OS works perfectly fine, and also just in general using the phone for what you would normally use it for, there's no problems and there's no stutter or anything. I was expecting maybe a little bit of lag because it has been in water for about 12 minutes, but I was going to do it longer, but because the SD card I'm currently using, it wouldn't let me do it for longer than about 10 minutes unfortunately. Now as you can see on the camera, it is a little bit frosty, and that's probably because there's a little bit of water that's got into the sensor just there on the back, but that will clear up very shortly, and again it will work perfectly fine. Apart from that, the phone itself, I can't see any problems with it. Again, the fingerprint sensor is a little bit of an annoyance, but that's the last thing you're going to worry about after dropping your phone in water. And after about 3 minutes of leaving it on a table and just drying it off very quickly with a rug, you can see here that the fingerprint sensor works perfectly fine, and also getting into the camera, you can see the fuzziness is gone. That distortion there is just because of the lights that I'm currently using. So the camera on the rear and also on the front works perfectly fine. There's no frost or anything, so it seems to have cleared up perfectly fine, and it's bone dry. So I would say that the water test was a success. Now don't get me wrong, people like Lou from Unbox Therapy have done it for about 16 hours and it still works fine the next day, so I would have no problems at all with saying that the Galaxy S7 is definitely water resistant. Now guys, if you want some more great content from COPPERVSGLASS, don't forget to subscribe, and again if you want to follow me on any of my social networks, I'll have them all linked down below, so again you can do that, and again if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below to let me know. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a water test of the Galaxy S7. I'm Michael from COPPERVSGLASS, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.